Speed Shop. On this episode, we put on cold air intake for my 2015 Silverado. Let's check it out! Welcome back. So today we're going to put a cold air intake on my 2015 Chevy Silverado 1500. And the kit I picked up was a Spectro cold air intake, part number 90060K. And if it looks a little rough on the box, I picked up used. Because this is the cheapest cold air intake I could find on the market that wasn't a full hack job. So, you can buy these used. Just pull out the air filter. You can do the full oil kit if you feel so inclined. I ain't gonna do that. Gonna use the old air compressor, blow it out, and install. And the tools I'm using for this install today, just some extensions, some Phillips and flathead screwdrivers, and impact driver. Real straightforward. Alright, so what we're gonna do first, go ahead and pop off your plug for your mass air sensor. Lower the tab. Got a little push thing in here. Gingerly wiggle it till it pops off. Move your wiring harness off to the side. I usually loop it so it's hang out, so it's hard to miss. So when you go to reinstall, you don't forget the plug for some reason. Next, we're going to take the top of the air box off. Involves 4 8mm bolts. Going to zap these off. That one's missing. I had to get through the 4 because number 4 is missing. No. Missing bolts, less work. Then next, you're going to do this hose clamp. Get the top of your air filter cover out of the way. Get that loose. Gotta do the jiggle wiggle pull, and this should just pop right off. Mind you, I said should. Yeah, if she's stuck like this one is, get a flathead, just kind of pry around. Kind of work the hose off. I never try to damage anything like this in case you decide you want to go back to the factory. Go ahead and unbolt. Now when you pull this off, don't throw it too far away, because remember, you're going to need this mass air sensor for the next intake. So keep that handy. Alright, next, go about disconnecting these quick disconnects. They go into your valve covers as breathers. Push in. How these work, you gotta push in, push this clip down, pull out. If it gives you any issues doing that, spray it down some sort of penetrator like a WD-40 or something, and rattle it loose that way. Works the same on both sides, just one's upside down. So they both pop off the same. Next, we're going to go ahead and pop the top hose clamp off the throttle body. So the top half of this air intake is loose. Voila, that's out of the way. Then you come back over here, pull your air filter out of the way. Huh, good air filter still. I'll stay with the intake nut. The intake. And then this factory box, give it a snug, a firm tug, and the whole thing comes out. No bolts or anything holding it in. Held on by just some tabs, and the whole thing will just pop out. Now, before you can install your intake, you have to remove these breather hoses off your valve covers. Now, just like on the top side of them, all you do is push in, push the plastic clip, the whole thing just pops off. Now, before you install your manifold, you gotta install your isolator for the tube and filter. This way it isolates the engine heat from the air filter, give you colder, denser air for your inlet charge. Now, to install this isolator, we're going to remove these 3 bolts for the new mounting bracket for that. 3 10mm bolts, and provided your truck isn't terribly rusty, should come right out. Yeah, almost long enough. Nice and installed. Now, tech tip to doing something like this, I'd always try to get the filter down in here before you install the intake tube, because you don't want to be wrestling with the intake tube when you try to put this filter in. Always try not to. Make life a little easier for yourself. And, you know, always install the hose clamp facing up. So you're not trying to figure out how you're tightening that, you know, for different universal joints and everything else. Make life easy on yourself. And your next part is installing the intake tube. Line it up so you're not stressing out wires, hoses, or connectors. Try to finesse the wires in carefully. The last thing you want to do when you're done with all this is see Mr. Check Engine Light pop up, because you frayed some wires that were very important. Since this kit was used, it already had some hoses that are aftermarket, but if the kit doesn't install the hose already, pick up some 16mm hose for your valve covers. Very important to do so your engine breathes. So go ahead and slide that on your throttle body, slide these on your valve covers. I gotta loosen that hose clamp so it actually slides on there. And remember to face those hose clamps towards you, like I just said. That one's not, that one's not. Don't want to install them like that. The next one comes installing the filter onto the housing. You got this adapter, goes from the big, I think a 4-inch filter housing down to your adapter. Slide in there. Slide the whole thing up enough where it's biting this fairly well, so it doesn't come undone while the vehicle's in motion. The filter falls off. Then go ahead and snug up the hose clamp, keeping your adapter secure. and you'll be ready to install your filter. Then once you've done all that, you're set up just to rotate your filter around and slide on that big adapter. Now you're not done quite yet, so you gotta install your map air sensor. That's one of the critical parts of your intake on these LS motors. So on your old airbox, you got this map air sensor held in with two T15 Torx screws. Real easy. Just go ahead and put a Torx screwdriver or a bit dragger like I have here. Take the two screws out. Now once you're done dropping these small black T15 screws, the whole thing just comes out. Gently finesse these out, because these are not the cheapest thing to replace. And generally when you pull them out, you can see the resistors inside here. Give them a quick glance. If it looks dirty, just pull on them. Don't spray any brake clean in them. Brake clean coats the resistors on here, and it'll actually short circuits the resistors, making the sensor a boat anchor. So, quick blow on them, and they're all set. Now for install of the sensor, come over here, line up where the sensor goes, and just simply slide it in. Kit provides these two fill-fed screws. I'd recommend using these over the Torx, just in case you need to replace one of these sensors on the fly. These are a pretty common sensor to go out, so I always like to keep it simple in case you're on a road trip or something and you need to replace it. And you don't always have the right Torx screw driver with you, so try to keep it simple, the Phillips or flathead when possible. Now once you have your fasteners tight, go ahead and get your wiring harness for this. Simply plug it in and slide that little red clip back in. And then of course, reach in the vehicle and give it the first start with a new cold air intake. Alright guys, that was a quick tutorial on cold air intake install on my 2015 Chevy Silverado. If you like content like this, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time here on the Dome Speed Shop.